Hello everyone, welcome to another soulful sip contemplation. First of all, Happy New Year! I hope this year brings you more beauty and enables you to awaken more of it internally so you can express it more externally out in the world. As usual, I would like to start with my invitation. Please grab one of your favorite drinks, tea or coffee, and settle down for a cozy conversation about a timely conversation. We will talk about New Year resolutions, goals, intentions. Well, I have seen many of them around me over the last few weeks or even months. And this made me to think about the role of goals versus intentions. I think in our culture we are so much used to measuring everything. So we would like to be very specific about what we would like to have more in our lives in 2025. I would like to lose 10 pounds, 10 kilograms. I would like to learn two new languages. I would like to sign up to two new courses. So it's always coming with some standard definitions, certain numbers affiliated with some time frames, and that is usually how we define success. From a business perspective, our goals need to be smart. We need to make them measurable. We need to make them very specific in terms of bounding them with some certain timelines and certain numbers. And there is a value in defining what we want to achieve with that level of practicality. Sometimes that level of practicality helps us to envision things so we can ignite our imagination towards them. So, in a way, to be able to feel what it would feel like to achieve that, those kind of numbers, goals, or aspirations can be invitations for us to get into the being, the mindset, the feeling of what it would feel like to have them. Seeing this, what I see them as mobilizers. So there's definitely a value in thinking about goals. But they also come with their own limitations. From the business world, I know quite a lot of outcomes in terms of achieving those goals and how much of them are really meaningful. In the business world, there's a new terminology. We define successes with objectives and key results. This is a framework in which we come up with some objectives and goals that we would like to achieve, and then we list some key results that we think will help us to measure whether we achieve that goal or not. So it's a mental exercise similar to the one that I was talking about to mobilize things. So there is value in it, but when you look at what you achieved at the end of the journey, most of the companies reveal the fact that those objectives are achieved almost only 60%. So it's mostly a mental exercise in the beginning of the year. We just create things. And then along the journey, life is so uncertain. Things change, outcomes also change or need to change to be able to really achieve the real success that we aspire to achieve. So, yes, there's always value in some aspirational exercise that can really help us to think, imagine, feel, be. But I think we should also hold it lightly, or we should also complement it with intention. To me, intention is at a different level. Goals are more at the surface level, like I know. There is even a certainty and sometimes human arrogance in it. In the intentions, there is more gentleness, there is more room for creativity, there is more openness. So, for example, what is the goal? What's the intention behind the goal of losing 10 kilograms or 10 pounds? Most of the time, the intention is to be more alive, to be more healthy, so that I can participate in life more with more vibrancy, with more mobility and flexibility in my joints. So that is the intention. And that intention might translate into losing 10 kilograms or 10 pounds, but maybe not. Maybe 5 is the right one for you. Maybe it's 15. Maybe it's not even related to losing weight. Maybe it's about the flexibility of your joints. So setting an intention in that sense gives us more creativity to be able to reach what we aspire to reach in the end. And I also feel like goals really focus our attention to the outcome. It's always future focused, right? So I'm here, and at the end of this year, I will lose 10 pounds. So there's really a gap between where I am today versus where I would like to go. Yeah, sometimes it's an invitation for us to close the gap, but we also know that because the gap is so huge, after a couple of weeks or months, we just lost track of that motivation. And I think another reason for losing that motivation is because that motivation is linked to a shallow definition or a number that we might have a hard time to connect unless we link it with something that is more meaningful, that is more deep and intentional, that can create some value in our lives today. And I think intention does that. Intention is not only about what we are going to achieve at the end of the journey. It's also an opportunity to honor the journey. Why am I taking the journey in the first place? Yes, maybe I'm going to lose 10 pounds at the end of the journey, but what is my intention that is making me to take that journey today, to start that journey today? It's my intention to be more healthy, to be more alive in life, to have more mobility and flexibility, to enjoy more time with my loved ones. Let's say that hypothetically I have children that I would like to spend more time with, play with, or I have very active friends that I would like to climb to the top of the mountains with. So if we can define the motivation behind the action this way, and if I can connect to that at a more emotional level, at a more being level, why level, it can ignite progress daily. And it can keep us motivated along the journey while we are working towards a goal. So, to me, there's always a value in coupling goals with intentions, because goals really helps us to focus in a future state. And it might be challenging to keep motivating ourselves for a future state unless we couple it with the why and the intention behind it every day. And intentions can really help us to keep it loose, keep the goals loose, and along the journey, if we discover alternative paths or if we acquire new information, maybe that helps us to redefine the goals. I think it's also important to be adaptive, be flexible enough to adjust the goals and stick with the intention and the why behind the goals that really helped us to start the journey in the first place. And I think another problem I see with the goals is where they're coming from. They're coming from our limited experiences as a human being. Well, if we are strategic enough and if we are well experienced in strategic thinking, maybe we are powerful to set up some diverse goals, but not everyone is really experienced enough to really come up with so many diverse opportunities. So I think our human capacity is very much limited in terms of goal setting in that sense, and we are very much biased with our own personal history, personal capacity, human wounds. Sometimes we don't even know how we are going to achieve that sense of feeling or sense of being that we aspire to achieve with the goal. So I think sometimes if we can couple that personal strategic thinking capacity that creates the goal with some surrender and trust to the overall process, to the life, it can help us to achieve what we aspire to achieve even better. How do we know? Sometimes we don't even know how to translate that intention into action in our lives. Again, I'm not negating the importance of goals. I'm just only inviting more openness in the process with the intention. So if things change along the journey, and if life provides more opportunities for us, better opportunities for us, better than what we were able to imagine with our limited thinking when we start the journey, I think it's important to stay open. Like, we can order what we wish to the universe, but if universe prepares other plans along the way, and if that plan deeply resonates with us, even better than what we thought we wanted in the beginning of the journey, I think intention still holds the space for that adaptive capacity to respond. So we can change the goals, we can align. And when I think about my own approach to goals, sometimes that futuristic thinking takes me so much out of the present moment. And I feel like I have to climb this big mountain, but I'm at the basement. So there's so much gap to fill. And like I said, most of the time we feel motivated towards our resolutions or goals in the first few weeks or months. But then that journey turns out to be so long that we lose our motivation. And I think one of the reasons for that is the process itself, like us being only focused on that future goal and being in the early stages makes that journey challenging. But if we switch from that future numerical goal to who do I want to be in that journey? Why am I taking this journey in the first place? How do I want to feel like when I achieve that goal? And how can I integrate that today in my daily reality of the present? That might be a different way of approaching. So instead of affiliating the meaning, the value, the feeling, the being that I'm going to achieve at the end of that journey with that numerical goal, what if I redefine it as the journey itself? And what if I integrate the essence of that into my daily life more? So instead of affiliating success with a numerical value, what if I redefine success with that inner alignment, inner essence, inner being that I would like to be, feel, see, then I achieve the goal? Reframing it this way can make the journey easier. So whatever we do every day, whatever feels right, whatever life proposes as opportunities, we can take little small steps every day. And without even realizing it, we might achieve it in the end. Rethinking about goals this way and adding intentions to our goals is a nice way to co-create with life. Once again, I'm not negating the importance of goals. Seeing this way, goals is actually, I think, a mental exercise that can help us to imagine that future state so we can get into deeper sense of feelings, being. But we should also acknowledge the fact that we might not even know the best way. And goals can be too limiting. I think what we need to do with the intention is to focus on the essence, in the beingness, in the feeling behind the goal, and couple it with the goal as a reflection of that embodiment every day. So maybe the path might change, but the direction and the essence always guides our way every day. How about that? You might be wondering what this might mean personally to me. So when I think about what I would like to invite more into my life, I try to keep it at a higher being and feeling level. Just to give you an example, instead of dreaming about having, for example, cars or homes so that I can feel a sense of safety and security. I keep it at the level of feeling of security and safety, feeling at home, which really gives me the feeling of groundedness that I need so that I can be secure in my own authenticity in this world. So here is, for example, how I capture that. I live with a strong foundation of safety and stability, embracing life's opportunities while staying grounded in the present moment. The key highlight here for me is that safety and stability. And I'm not defining it with a certain number of financial income that's going to make me feel like I have that. It's a lot more open in its definition. Once again, I'm not linking it with having a home, having a car, so I can really feel safe and secure in my physical presence. Yes, I might imagine that as a part of my expression of this intention, and indeed, I do have that too, but it might be very different than how I imagine that to be too. So traditionally, for example, yes, I also affiliated having that safety and security with owning a home. But over the last few years, I just realized that if I have the financial flexibility to have the physical space that I need in everywhere in the world, this could be through Airbnbs. It could be even better aligned with my sense of safety and security. Maybe in my creative lifestyle, I don't even need to deal with the complexities of owning a home or maintaining a home. If I can just have the space and privacy that I need for feeling secure enough or safe enough to be able to create these videos, maybe that is all I need. So once again, the journey revealed different insights personally for me too, and opened new windows for me to redefine what safety and security means. And if we can keep our aspirations and intentions at this level of feeling, being, who do I want to be in this journey, we can trust life more, and we can feel this even today in our existence, and step by step let life to reveal how we can feel this more, how we can be this embodiment more in our lives. And maybe as the next practical thing and a nice closure, I would like to introduce Aladdin's lamp to turn our wishes into a little bit more directed intentions, so that these intentions can still give us some structure for the new year, but also invite us to welcome more opportunities of life. If life presents us different goals that are more aligned with what we would like to feel or who we would like to be in this journey. So this will be a simple exercise. We will have 3 wishes and we will turn these visions into intentions. So which is going to be, what would you like to have more in your life? And intention will make it a little bit more grounded. So I will use a simple framework. I will invite something more into my life. I will release something from my life so that I can have more space, and I will commit to an action so I can have what I would like to have in my life more. So the first wish for me is abundance. And I invite more abundance into my life by being my authentic self more, so I can overflow from the vitality of my own life energy. My second wish is community. Come into unity. And I release all my fears, all my insecurities that block my authenticity, and again, intimacy that inhibits me to show up in my vulnerabilities, in the spaces that I create, in the spaces that I show up. So I release all my fears of vulnerability so I can feel a sense of community more. And the third wish I have is beauty. I commit to creating and awakening more beauty in and around me every day. And the manifestations of this might be different. It might be, for the last one, it might be creating a video weekly. It might be daily writing, or it might be just keeping a gratitude journal at the end of the day, where I share more about what I found beautiful during the day. So the numbers and the goals might be changing, but the essence is intact. And at the end of the journey, I'm not chasing a number and a future state. I am already embodying the abundance, the authenticity, the community, the intimacy that I would like to feel within the community. And I am already awakening the beauty in me and sharing it more externally with the world, in my own form, in my own way. And to me, this is enough. This is a nice way to complement our numerical goals, our numerical future states that we would like to achieve with the essence, with the feelings that we think we need or we will get when we achieve them. So life is a dance of both of them. How can we maybe put some goals as future aspirations, but also keep them loose, keep them at the level of intentions, ground them with the intentions, ground them with the energy of being and feeling. So instead of focusing always on the future state, we can invite more of it into our lives. Well, thank you for awakening and creating more beauty with me. I hope this inspires you to bring more beauty into the world in your own terms. Till next time, stay beautiful.